Hello students, welcome to Standard 12th Chemistry by Sujata Miss, Fatima Convent High School. Unit 9, Coordination Compounds. In previous video we discussed what are coordination compounds and the terms related to it. In this video we'll be discussing Werner's theory of coordination compounds. Alfred Werner, a Swiss chemist, was the first to give his ideas about the structures of coordination compounds. He prepared and characterized a large number of coordination compounds and studied their physical and chemical behavior by simple experimental techniques. He proposed the concept of primary valency and secondary valency for a metal ion. So, what is it? Let us discuss. Let us discuss the main postulates of Werner's theory. The first one is, in coordination compounds, metals show two types of linkages, that is valencies, primary valency and secondary valency. The second postulate is the primary valencies are normally ionizable and are satisfied by negative ions. So here let us understand this more clearly with an example. Now the primary valencies over here are the charge on the metal ion, or you can say it is the oxidation number of the metal ion, that is the cobalt over here. Now if you find the oxidation number of cobalt, then here you know chlorine has a charge -1. So 2 chlorine atoms will have charge -2 and the complex will have a charge of +2. Ammonia has a charge of 0. Chlorine has a charge of -1. So if you find the oxidation number of cobalt, we take the oxidation number of cobalt as X. X plus -1 is equal to the charge on the complex, that is +2. We get X is equal to +3. So this +3 is the primary valency of the cobalt metal present in the coordination compound. Now this is satisfied by chlorine, which are negative ions, that is they are normally satisfied by chlorine, or you can say negative ions, chlorine in this example. Now let us move on to the next postulate. The secondary valencies are non-ionizable. They are satisfied by neutral molecules or negative ions. The secondary valency is equal to the coordination number and is fixed for a metal. So over here in this example, cobalt is bonded to chlorine as well as NH3 amine. So here the coordination number, that is it is bonded to 5 amine and 1 chlorine. So 5 plus 1, the coordination number over here of cobalt is 6. So we can say the oxidation number is the primary valency. So the primary valency of this cobalt is 3 and secondary valency of this cobalt is 6. That is the coordination number. Point number 4. The ions groups bond by a secondary valency to the metal have characteristic spatial arrangements corresponding to different coordination numbers. Now let us see the spatial arrangement of this example. That is the coordination compounds will have particular geometrical shapes such as octahedral, tetrahedral, square, planar, etc. Now let us see this example, that is COCl NH3 5Cl2. The central metal is cobalt, so here I'll write cobalt, and further we can show the octahedral structure as it has 6 as a coordination number. So here I can put the NH3 and one chlorine. Let us see on a blank page. Central metal cobalt bonded to 5 ammonia. I can show ammonia at any 5 places. Now in order to show the secondary valency, that is a bond between CO and NH3 as well as CO and Cl, which is inside the square bracket, we use a thick line. So you can say secondary valency is represented by a thick line. Now the primary valency is because of the negative ion, that is the chlorine which is outside, and it is ionizable. Now what is ionizable, we'll check it out once more. Now here this chlorine, this particular chlorine has been satisfying primary valency as well as a secondary valency. So secondary valency is shown by a thick line, whereas you can show the primary valency by a dotted line with the cobalt. Similarly, the primary valency can be shown at any 2 places by a dotted line. So this is how you can draw the structure of the coordination compound, showing the primary valency and the secondary valency. So here we discussed a few questions, that is the primary valency of cobalt is +3 over here, secondary valency is 6, and when you put them into water, that is when the coordination compound is added to water, it will dissociate into the complex and 2Cl minus ions. So here you have the complex COCl NH3 5. Now this complex will not further dissociate. So this is a complex ion and 2Cl minus ions. Further, we have already seen the structure of the coordination compound. Example 9.1 of your textbook. On the basis of following observations made with aqueous solutions, assign secondary valencies to metals in the following compounds. We are given the formula of the compound and we are given moles of AgCl precipitated per mole of the compounds with excess AgNO3. That is 2 over here. Now what does it mean? It means we have a coordination compound, and here when it is treated with excess AgNO3, that is silver nitrate, it gives us 2 moles of AgCl in the first example. So here, in order to get 2 moles of AgCl, we should have 2 chlorine ions as counter ions. So we can write them, that is 2 chlorine outside the square bracket. Now in this example, let us write the remaining elements, that is Pd, palladium. Then we have NH3, amine, and 4 of them. So I write a 4 here. So this should be the coordination compound, and here we get 2 moles of AgCl because 2 chlorine must be present as a counter ion. Now here the next question is, what is the secondary valency? That is, you have to assign the secondary valency to the metal. Now here the metal is Pd, and Pd is coordinated to, that is, it has a coordinate covalent bond with 4NH3. So you can say the secondary valency is 4. Now let us move on to the next example. The second one, we have NiCl2 6H2O, and here we get 2 moles of AgCl precipitated. So here we can say 2Cl will be present as a counter ion, that is outside the square bracket. So remaining 6 molecules are responsible for the secondary valency, that is, they are found inside the square bracket. So here we can say the secondary valency of the metal Ni will be 6. Let us move on to the third example. In the third example, 0 moles of AgCl, that is, no moles of AgCl are precipitated. It means there are no ions outside the square bracket. All the molecules other than the metal, along with the metal, you can see, are inside the square bracket. So here we will have 4 plus 2, that is 6 as a secondary valency for platinum. Now let us move on to the fourth one. In case of fourth one, we get 1 mole of AgCl precipitated. So here we can have 1 Cl outside the square bracket, and remaining Cl as well as amine will be inside the square bracket. So secondary valency of cobalt, if you calculate, we will have 2 chlorine and 4 amine, so 2 plus 4, that is 6. Let us move on to the fifth one, PtCl2 2NH3. Now over here you get 0 moles of AgCl precipitated. It means will not have any counter ions outside the square bracket. We will not have any negative ions outside the square bracket. So here 2 plus 2, 4 will be the coordination number, that is the secondary valency of the metal platinum. Let us also discuss the difference between double salts and complex salts. Here we are given a few examples. Mohr salt, that is FeSO4 NH4 twice SO4 6H2O. Then we have carnallite, that is KCl MgCl2 6H2O. Potash alum KAlSO4 twice 12H2O. Now these are the examples of double salts, and you are already familiar with the examples of complex salts. One example which is given is K4FeCN6. Now the main difference between the two is when you put them into water. If you put Mohr salt into water, then it will dissociate into Fe2 plus SO4 2 minus and NH4 plus ions. Whereas when you add K4FeCN6 into water, that is when you dissolve it into water, they dissociate into K plus and the complex, that is FeCN6 4 minus. Whereas the complex does not dissociate into Fe plus 2 and Cn minus ions. So in case of a complex salt, they do not dissociate the ions which are inside the coordination entity, or you can say the square bracket. So let us read the difference. Both double salts as well as complex salts are formed by the combination of two or more stable compounds in stoichiometric ratio. However, they differ in the fact that double salts such as carnallite, Mohr salt, potash alum, etc. dissociate into simple ions completely when dissolved in water. However, complex ions such as FeCN6 4 minus of K4FeCN6 do not dissociate into Fe2 plus and Cn minus ions. Let us see once more the difference between coordination compound and double salt. A coordination compound contains a central metal atom or ion surrounded by a number of oppositely charged ions or neutral molecules. These ions or molecules are bonded to the metal atom or ion by a coordinate bond. You're familiar with this? Now, in case of double salts, when two or more salts in stoichiometric ratio are crystallized together to form their saturated solution, they are called double salts, and they do not have coordinate bond. Example is K4FeCN6, and here you can write down the example as Mohr salt. Now, when this coordination compounds are dissolved in water, they do not dissociate into simple ions when dissolved in water. Whereas double salts, they dissociate into simple ions when they are dissolved in water. Thank you students, and meet you with the next video.